everybody, it's Shay, the Holistic Doula, as usual. Miss Shea Butter here. And I was just doing a little rundown. So if you are on my Instagram page, I'm sure you saw my live last night, or I don't know when you'll be watching this video, but I did a live on Thursday night just talking about spring cleaning and spring cleansing. However, there was a lot going on. I was in the middle of cooking dinner. I was chasing around the kids. I just got in the house, but I just really wanted to jump on and give brief information. So now I just wanted to go a little bit more in depth. So I am doing a spring cleanse. It's not just me, it is my whole household. We are cleansing for the spring weather. Those who know me know that I do a cleanse every season. And usually that's really it. I'm not a person that does multiple cleanses. It's usually seasonal, or if my body is telling me that something needs to happen. So seasons changing, that means our body composition is changing. That means that our nutrient needs are changing. And then what's available to us has changed as well. So I like to do a spring cleanse, and I am doing it just in time for spring. We are starting on Monday the 18th, and we are going until, I'm looking at my calendar, y'all. Oh wait, no, Monday's not the 18th. We are starting Monday the 14th, and we're going until the 21st. That's when my son goes to the dentist. So what does that look like? What does that mean? We are going to be eating a lot of steamed greens, vegetables, our alkaline fruits. Not so much acidic right now. Oh, actually, it is a little acidic because right now it is orange season. It's citrus season. So we have a lot of citrus fruits available to us. So I will be including some citrus in there. So I am looking forward to that. Some oranges, some grapefruits, getting our vitamin C up, preparing for allergy season. So cleansing is just a really good way to reset the body and get it ready for anything, for life, for new life. Springtime is when we become more active, when we are doing more, and we have to have the right ingredients in our body, the right nutrients in our body to promote this. So something to remember. In the winter, we eat warming foods. We have a lot of heavier foods, so we stack on, we get some pounds on us, and we are a little bit more mucusy in the winter time. And so for spring, we are draining that out. That's also why allergies in the spring just feels like, oh my gosh, because our body is draining self of that excess mucus. Our mucous membranes are irritated, and we got a lot going on. So this is a great way to combat allergies, to boost our immune system, and to really get ready to get back out into the world. So what our days are going to primarily look like is vegetables and fruit. We are not consuming any dairy, any processed foods, any meat. It is going to be strictly lightly steamed and raw vegetables and fruit. I say lightly steamed because springtime isn't the time for just raw fruits and vegetables. You still need a little bit of the warming, and you do still need some digestive help. So it's really important to know that and not completely cast aside steamed foods, because I know our raw vegans out there, I know I love y'all, but they often will eat this, raw food. Watermelons? Yeah, give me a minute and I'll give you some. So yeah, raw food definitely serves its purpose. It's a great thing, but it has a purpose. Too much raw can be harsh on the digestive system. It can be a lot to take. So yes, we want to stay away from too much raw food, especially in the beginning stages. If it's not something that you eat constantly, and for early spring, you don't really need to do raw. You still want something warming, and you still want things easy to digest. So raw foods are harder to digest. It's hard for our bodies to break it down. Processed foods, that's a whole nother story. But in eating healthy raw foods, it's just a lot for our body to take on, especially if it's something that we're not used to. So steaming our foods lightly kind of breaks down those enzymes a little bit to help us to better process them, especially for people who are going from cooked food. You don't want to go from cooked food just to raw food. It'll be too much on the stomach, on the digestive system, and you may feel sick. I'm hoping with this transition, it can be a slow transition into reducing our meat intake. To be honest, I would love to be a vegan. I've been a vegetarian. I can't say that meat is like, oh, the best thing ever. I eat it because it's convenient. It's something that I'm used to. It's the way that I grew up. We eat a lot of meat, but it's never been a dire need for me. It's just been out of necessity. So through this cleanse, I'm hoping, one, to break away from that necessity, get a little bit more creative in the kitchen. It's a matter of creativity. I have to make sure that I make the food good. So I had, and you'll see the video, I had a friend of mine who's a vegan come by and show us a few things to make. So that was Miss Aquia of Wilder Juices. So please watch that video and see. First of all, it was delicious, and I just loved how easy it was to put together these recipes. And Kaya, my 1-year-old, loved it. So my goal is with that knowledge and with that support that I can, bless you, that I can venture away from meat as far as I can, and maybe just not eat it at all. It takes discipline, it takes a little creativity, and it takes just some unconditioning of the mind and the body. So what is happening in the next week? We're starting simple. Steamed veggies, fruits. I'm gonna be doing juices. I've always juiced. I love juicing. I usually reserve it for the spring, summer, and then a little bit in the fall, again, just for the body constitution, and just sticking to things that help with digestion and help with the functionality of the body. You don't want to do like raw cold juices in the cold. It's a shock to the system. It's a little too much. It can cause digestive issues. It can give you upset stomach, bloating, all of that. So I try to really tailor the way that I juice, the way that I make smoothies for my seasons. I'm big on seasonal eating, and I'm big on eating things that are in season. So if you think about that, then you know, okay, what is in season in the winter? The heavier stuff. Our leafy greens are seasonal in the winter, like our collards, our kale. Those are the things. We don't really have citrus fruits in the winter too much, at least not here in Jersey, but you know, we have access to it. So utilizing that a little bit is super important, but not overdoing it. So like I said, big on seasonal eating just for digestion of the body. It may be different for others. This is how it's always been for me. And I just feel better with like a nice juice, a nice alkaline juice in the springtime. An apple with some kale and a cucumber, or celery and pepper and apple. Yeah, things like that. It's good. So yep, lots of juicing, spicy peppers. That's my son. Clean eating, staying away from the processed things. What I foresee as the response of my body, good peppers, is when I do these cleanses, especially when I take away meat, not even the meat, when I take away the processed sugars, I go through withdrawal. I do get like a withdrawal headache, I get fatigue, but it's often followed by like a blissful feeling. And I'm hoping if we could just get through those, and I can use my fruits to kind of combat and be my sugar, then I can stay away from actual processed sugars, because I would like to not use them at all, to be honest. They don't benefit me. It's just more of habit and addiction. I come from a junkie eating household where we ate lots of snacks, and my husband, same thing. He likes lots of snacks. So I'm excited to be doing this as a family, because that means that we can really reset our systems and kind of break those generational curses, right? Just break that curse and that habit of needing snacks and sugar and processed junk too often. I'm going to start the mornings, warm water with lime or lemon. Go into warming juices. Eating later in the day, we already kind of intermittent fast, and we eat usually like around 11. We get up at 8, maybe eat at 11. Kendrick, you're making a lot of noise with those pens. So yes, get up around 8, we eat around 11, and so eating for us will be like steamed vegetables in the morning. I'm thinking lentils, I'm thinking chana, which chickpeas, to start our mornings, and like kale. Kale is a good way to start the morning. Lunchtime we'll dive into like stir fries, and definitely fruit all day, because that's what we do regardless, fruit all day. Dinner time will be a little bit heavier with, again, maybe like chana, butternut squash, kale, Brussels sprouts, things that can kind of sustain us and fill us so that we're not waking up in the middle of the night hungry. One thing that I note when doing these cleanses is that I'm definitely hungry more frequently than if I'm not cleansing and I'm just eating regular. So being mindful of that, I have to know to snack throughout the day on my healthy things. And so I got lots of snacks. I'll be sharing with you guys my shopping trip and all the fruit and vegetables that I bought and what I'll be using them for. And so this way you guys can kind of join in. Let it be a conversation. If you have advice, tips, share it with me. Let me know what you think. If you've done this before, was this your way into veganism? Did your family join in? How was it with your family? I mentioned I have my sons doing this, my husband, my sister, my grandmother. Everybody is doing the spring cleanse with me. So that's really motivational and inspires me to keep it up. And to not have that. It's one thing when you're trying to cleanse for yourself, then everybody around you is eating junk. It's hard to not have that smell around you and to not, inhale it a little bit more than you usually would. Before, I was working all the time, so I would eat outside the home, and it was easy for me to buy fruit and vegetables and stuff outside the home, which I would do. But then when I would come home, it was like, oh my gosh. And I would be cooking dinner at night, and it would be like meat or something like that, and it was just like killing me, and kind of dampened my creativity. Like, I just wanted to throw a piece of meat on the stove and get it to them as fast as they can, and it wasn't even always good. Like, they weren't always happy with that. Like, man, what did you do? You didn't make this the way you usually do. I didn't have the inspiration. But now I can put that creative energy into my vegetable dishes. So I'm excited about that. Lots of green beans I did because we really like green beans. And yeah, I think I talked enough. I hope that you guys join in. Today is Friday. What I plan to do to prepare is cutting up my fruit, my juices, stocking my fridge, taking the bad stuff out, putting the good stuff in. Hopefully my kids eat fruit like crazy. Hopefully I can have some fruit left for Monday. If not, of course, I'll go to the farmer's market. But yeah, this is where we're starting. So join in, be part. I'm looking forward to the results. I estimate that I'll probably lose some weight. Not that I want to, but that's what's going to happen. But we'll in the next 2-3 weeks, I'll be going to the gym and having my protein shakes, vegan protein. And so I will get my weight back on. But it's all part of the process. I accept it. Do you accept it? Do you accept my challenge? If you do, please tag me in your Instagram posts of what you're eating, what you made, what you enjoy. And the hashtag is Cleansing with Miss Shea Butter. Yes, that's what it is. I had to make sure. Or cleansing with shea butter. Anyway, I'll have the hashtag in the description box, as well as my Instagram, so you can stay up to date. I plan to majorly post on YouTube, the different days, and it'll be like day prep, day 1 and 2. I'll post that, and then 2 and 3, and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But like, for little tidbits and things that I'm doing throughout the day, definitely follow me on my Instagram at Butter the Holistic Doula to see what's going on and see how we're doing and how we're coping. So that being said, peace and love, my friends. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.
Some people think her power.
Hey, Shay, the Holistic Doula here. I'm back at it again. I told you guys that I would be showing you what I got for this week's cleanse. So I'm gonna try to run through it quickly. Not too quick. It's a lot of stuff, so relatively quick. And just letting you know why I'm choosing the things that I'm choosing. And I'm gonna start with oat milk. So I prefer hemp milk, but they didn't have any. I went to Acme today, or I ordered from Acme today, because they have the most fruit and vegetable selections. I usually shop Aldi, but Aldi is known for having small varieties of things, which they're great for that purpose of getting in and out. If you're somebody who gets anxiety while shopping, Aldi is one of those places you can go and it's like, ooh, it's kind of nice to walk down there 4 aisles and it's not too overwhelming. So I always shop them, but I do know that they don't carry the variety of fruit and vegetables that I need. And often, especially now with the food shortage, it's more difficult to get some of the stuff. So Acme was the go-to today, and they did not disappoint, y'all. They did not. Some things were not in stock, but most of the stuff I was able to get, most of the stuff that I need. So oranges, I got a few varieties. These are Cara Cara. I also got mandarin, and then these are grapefruit, but you know, citrus nonetheless, as well as some limes. So I plan on doing a lot of juicing of my fruit. Sorry, moving the baby. I plan to juice my oranges and my grapefruit, as well as eat it raw. And it's really just good for a vitamin C boost. It's good to help break up any mucus in the system. And it's a great thing to wake up to. Who doesn't want to wake up to freshly pressed orange juice? So I am excited about waking the boys and my hubby up to some of that in the morning, because, you know, orange juice in the bottle, that's concentrated stuff. All the nutrients have been taken out and then put back in, and it's enriched and delicious, right? So I will be making my own citrus juices. This parsley, this is one of my favorite. This is like a secret ingredient of mine. Why? Parsley is really good at drawing toxic metals out of the system. So it's one of those things that I juice and I put in most of my juices. It's not undetectable, but it kind of tastes like celery, a little bit like peppers, like it has that bite to it. But a nice bunch of it is really good. Another cool fact about parsley is that it actually helps with body odor. It helps to restore our pH balances, and the chlorophyll that is in parsley is really dense, which helps to draw out toxins and helps to mask odors of the body. So if you are a person who suffers body odor, adding leafy greens, especially parsley, using chlorophyll, those things will help you to get rid of that, or at least minimize the odor. They even use it. They did a study on like senior citizens with it, and they used it in a senior citizen home. All right, so parsley, must have. I got some cabbage. I got 2 heads of cabbage. I was thinking some stir fry with some ginger and some turmeric would be, or ginger, not the turmeric, would be really good. So I plan to do some cabbage and some snap peas. So I also have snap peas, and that's going to be like a dinner. During the day, I plan to have lots of these cucumbers. Sorry, y'all. She likes Christmas music. I mean, me too. I know where she get it from. But yeah, had to turn that down. So cucumbers, I really like the English cucumbers because they're nice and they're crisp. And they are good with a little bit of salt and pepper, a little apple cider vinegar, or just regular vinegar. It's really good. Of course, I just want to put emphasis on buying organic. I know that it can be difficult, but it is really important for certain fruits, vegetables, cucumber being one, strawberries, you want organic, blueberries, anything that grows at a above ground and is not hidden, like easily hidden by their leaves. Like squash doesn't always have to be organic. It should. Pumpkin doesn't always, but it should. Fruits and vegetables that are easily reachable by the elements are usually, it's necessary that it be organic, because that means that they're easily reachable by the animals and the predators. I know there's a better word for that than predators, but yeah. And so they're often sprayed with herbicides and insecticides and things to keep away the predators, and that leaks into the fruit, the vegetable. Now we're eating that in high amounts, especially if we're consuming lots of fruits and veggies, and now that's leaking into our system, and that's damaging our gut health and causing leaky gut syndrome and causing eczema and causing allergies and causing just dis-ease in the body. So if you can, please, I'm not one of those that just like jump on the train and want to give you guys information because everybody's giving it to you. I say this because I studied this. I believe in it. I know it. Eat organic if you can. You want to eat organic, please, and eat local. It's equally important, because think about if you're getting something, sure, it says organic, but it's from Peru. What did they put on it to make it reach over here healthily, and how is it able to still be good and viable and all of that stuff? At some point there has been some kind of, I'm going to use the word augmentation only because I'm a doula and that's my best explanation, but there's been some augmentation, some handling of that fruit or vegetable to make it kind of like non-perishable, to get it over here. And whatever that is, we don't want to know. So we want to stick with local and organic. Okay, speech over, rant over. I got lots of this green beans. My children eat these like chips, so I got about 4 bags of these, because I imagine that this will be a lot of our lunchtime or pre-lunch snacks. Okay, another thing, sorry, Kai is like smiling and waving at me. Another thing, okra, really good for digestion, really good to move things along, help you to go to the bathroom, help to regulate things. So you want to have that. I'm going to move on over. I got kale, I got spinach, leafy greens. I think we know why we got that. I got lots of apples. Apples are good for juicing. Apples are a great way to get in your fiber, and they're delicious. Now Kendrick is bringing me watermelon. I got watermelon. Melon is one of those things that you can eat and should eat on, that's not melon, that's squash, boo. Eat on an empty stomach. It keeps you a little full. It helps you with detoxifying the body as well. And so melon is one of those things, you just eat it by itself. Make that a meal. That bowl is like, it's my husband's meal. So honestly, I should have picked up more because he's going to eat that whole bowl and nobody else will get watermelon. The reason I didn't pick up a bunch is because it's not watermelon season. Can you stop squishing my squash? It's not watermelon season, and so without it being watermelon season, I'm a little leery about using it, but I wanted to get things that I know my husband will definitely eat, and watermelon is just one of those things. I also got squash. I plan to make like soup with the squash, curry with the squash, so it'll really just be like squash with some lentils, maybe some chana, which is chickpeas, kale, coconut milk, and turmeric. And that is what I'm going to use to make. So that's a dinner. Got asparagus. I got some potatoes, not many, just a little bag. More so for the kids if they get tired of all their fruit and veggies, then they have that. Peppers. I will help you. Please put it down until I'm ready to help you. This is one of their favorite snacks. I love it because it's really good for the skin. So those who are like, ooh, how do you get such glowing and good skin? I think I've said this already. My secret is peppers. Honestly, I juice them, I eat them, the kids eat them. These fruits that are colorful and crunchy and water based fruit and vegetables are good for the skin. So a juice with an apple, 3 peppers, half a cucumber a day, trust me, you're gonna glow, okay? And when you do, remember that I'm the one who told you, and then give me a shout out, all right? So I think that is all. I'm gonna sit back, watch Encanto with my babies, and after I put all these groceries away. And please feel free to send in questions. Feel free to join the cleanse. I'm available if you have questions and you're unsure where to start, what to do, how to prepare a certain fruit or vegetable. Get creative. But send me a message and we will go into it. All right? Peace and love, you guys. Again, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more to come. Bye. Hey, beautiful people. Shay the Holistic Doula, Miss Shay Butter, whichever you call me. I just, as I was supposed to be folding clothes, thought of just a quick video update. Not an update, but just a quick video discussion to have with you guys. This is going to go as part of my cleansing series, and what it is the question I'm getting is, what are we cleansing from? Why do I need to cleanse? How do I know I need to cleanse? So I wanted to share, look at this pile of clothes. I wanted to share, how do you know that you need to cleanse? Because people who eat like clean diets are like, no, I'm pretty healthy. I don't really eat that much dairy. I don't really eat that much sweet. I shouldn't need a cleanse. You should still. And these are the ways to confirm whether you need a cleanse or not. One, how often are you excreting substances? How often are you pooping? All right. A good amount is 3 times a day. For me, I feel like, damn, like that's unrealistic. I don't think I've ever, and I'm a pretty generally healthy. I've even been vegetarian and still I wasn't going 3 times a day. But that is one sign. If you're not going 3 times a day, that alone tells you that you need to make some dietary changes. If you're not going at least once a day, even more so, you need to detox, cleanse, get rid of that sludge in there, to create room for new things. Because if we are sitting there with a bunch of toxins in our system, literally full of poop, we're not going to be able to properly absorb the nutrients from our healthy things. It's not that we won't absorb it, but more so it's kind of counterproductive, because our body is working so hard on these toxins and it's so drudged down that the nutrients aren't really penetrating and getting through, because our body's overworked and overworking. So if you are not pooping at least 3 times a day, that's a sign. All right. Another thing, I got a facial, but see these? You start breaking out, you start getting some pimples, that is a good indication, and that's usually a sign of mucus buildup. Mucus buildup is just from eating the unhealthy things, things that hold fats and kind of fill up our fatty tissues. It creates mucus in the system, and our body is trying to release it, and that can come in forms of pimples. So if you find that you are breaking out, and it's not that you change your face routine or you are using old makeup brush or anything of that nature, it most likely is due to toxins. Also check your hormones. are your hormones balanced? And a great way to set them off balance, of course, is being a toxic person and not having a good cleanse system. So those are indications thereof. Tiredness. If you're overly tired, that means our body is overworking. Our body is trying so hard to get rid of the toxins, and so it's tired. You wake up in the morning, you're tired. You're probably not even getting quality sleep and just not realizing it. Another indication, sweat. Now, we all sweat, okay, don't get me wrong, but if your sweat is stinky, that's another story. Again, a way that our body is excreting those toxins and those bad things. I'm not a sweaty person, and even when I would sweat, I'm not a person who needs deodorant typically. But when it's toxic time, when I'm overloaded on sugars and toxins like that, one, I find that I sweat more, and two, that I would have a body odor. That's just not my regular odor. Like, I could say, like, ooh, it's not just like a little musk. It's like, oh, it's not exactly what I need it to be. This isn't a smell that I would want other people to smell. I would be self-conscious if I was in a crowd. So just being aware of that. Your pee as well, it should be clear. If it's dark, other than if you are eating certain foods or on certain pills, medications, they can darken your pee. If you take certain vitamins, they can darken your pee as well. So if you're not doing those things and you have dark, stinky pee, that is an indication your liver is tired, not filtering toxins as quickly and as well as it should. And so you should cleanse, you should detox. So some things to aid in the detoxification process is, one, drinking warm water in the morning with lime. Key lime is best. Some key lime alkalize your water to balance the acid in the body and to help hopefully flush your system and your lymphatic system. Doing lymphatic drainage massages, okay? Getting all of the stagnant fat and toxin, make a move, all right? Give your lymphatic system the boost that it needs to process those toxins. Going to the sauna, sweating out toxins is a great thing to do. Get yourself a little day pass to your spa and go spend some time in the Himalayan salt rooms, the clay rooms, the charcoal rooms. Go in there and sweat. I am excited because I plan on doing some of that. It's been a few weeks since I've been to the spa. I've just been so busy, so doing that is a big deal. I do not condone using laxatives. That is not the proper way to detox, and I speak on this all the time, and you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about this, but just pooping doesn't mean that you are releasing toxins, and taking laxatives is not a form of cleansing. That's a form of purging, and you're getting things out of your system that should only really be used for like medical emergencies. One, being super backed up and having abdominal pain that can cause perforation of the intestines. That is a reason we want to poop. We want to get that out by all means necessary. But what laxatives do is they just tell your bowels to go. They just say, hey body, we got to release whatever's in there. So your body doesn't even have time really to process the good, the bad, and you are not absorbing your nutrients as you should, especially if you are using laxatives over and over as your way of detoxing or cleansing. Don't do that. That is bad. So don't do that. You want to use something that aids in your pooping, but not makes you go. And so senna, stay away from. What is the other one? Bark, yellow dock. Yellow dock, it's great for detoxifying, but also stay away from, especially if you're not experienced with the herb. Stay away from that. What you want to use, chia seeds, sea moss, grape juice, real grapes. Take the seeded grapes, juice them, those grapes, or eat them. Chia seeds, I said that. Psyllium husk, it is you can get it in capsule form, and it is kind of like the loofah, if you know the plant. Loofah is actually a plant. You know, the thing we scrub our body with, it's a plant. It's a form of a gourd that you can grow and use it. So it's a plant. And psyllium husk is similar to what that loofah feels like. I'm doing a video. So psyllium husk is really good in capsule form. You take it, and what happens is as you drink water, it expands, and that expands causes brushing of the intestines. So it brushes and it brings your toxins down. Sorry, I have to have the whole crew. Da, da, da. So psyllium husk is good, chia seeds are good, water, apples, juice, those are all good. Grapes. Warm water. Warm water, like I said, with a little bit of lemon. Lime, ideally, is really good for helping to detoxify and to move the bowels. Movement. I'm a doula, y'all, so you know that I am well versed in getting those babies to poop. And how do we do that? We give them little tummy massages. We bicycle their legs. Yoga, certain poses, child's pose, seated squat. I can't think of the proper name for it. Poses like that help to get you to go. And so these are all ways to stimulate pooping. Stimulate elimination. Let's stay away from those laxative teas, those skinny teas, slim tea, boo tea, bunny tea, all them teas. Stay away from those teas. You see senna in there, run, head for the hills. It's not even good for you. Let's be honest. Senna was used as medicine, and it was used for people who were severely ill and needed to purge their system. It's not something to use daily. It's not something to even really use weekly. And what happens is, after a while, your body builds a tolerance, and if you're already having a hard time going, your body is going to continue having a hard time going and only be able to go after a certain amount of senna has been put into the body. So let's just stay away from that altogether. We don't want to make a habit of constipation, and we don't want to give our body the idea that we don't need it to do what it needs to do, because we're going to forcefully do it. And then on top of that, it could be harmful, especially if you're not staying hydrated. So stay away from those things. The senna, the yellow dock, only use in case of medical emergency, only use after consulting with an herbalist or with somebody who's experienced with it as well. For me, my culture, senna, yellow dock, those are big herbs that everybody knows about and we use, and I've grown up around it, and I know the dosages and the way to make it and the different senna pods and senna seeds and all of that good stuff. But it's not something that I feel, even in all of my knowledge, it's still not something that I feel needs to be utilized as frequently as people are thinking and trying to use it. So don't do that. And yeah, trust your body's natural instinct. Give it a little urge to go along. Like I said, stay active. Move those legs. Go for a walk. Go for a hike. Drink your water when you wake up. Make sure you are properly hydrated and that you have enough fiber and enough nutrient-dense food to kind of brush the inside of your body and to move through the system and to get things flowing and going. And happy elimination. I'm hoping that this was helpful for you and that you understand ways to get yourself going. And I hope that you're joining my cleanse challenge and that I get to see and hear from you very soon. So peace and love, you guys. Until next video. Bye.